I'm reviewing one of my favorite TV shows. It is Impractical Jokers. Now, this TV show is a hidden camera comedy, and it shows on True TV on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. And it debuted on December 15th, 2011. It's currently in its seventh season. It's already been renewed for an eighth season and a feature movie based on what they do in these episodes. So they're hot, they're on fire. And this show received overwhelmingly positive reviews. It has an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb and a 97% on Google. And this show is about four friends from high school: Brian, James, Sal, and Joe, who all went to Monsignor Farrell High School, and they became best friends. And despite they all went to college, they all got different degrees. Joe was an accountant. Sal was a bartender, had his own business. Murr is an executive vice president for North South Productions. Q was a New York City fireman for several years before he retired in 2016. And Joe also sold baby furniture and stuff like that. They've all had different kinds of jobs. But in this TV show, like I said, it's a hidden camera, and they play all these different funny games. And basically, they're trying to play off the reaction of just ordinary people who really have no idea that they're on TV, and they don't really find it out until they have to sign a release form after they do the bit. And if they don't sign the release form, that's why you see their faces blurred, because they don't want to be their faces shown on TV. But you don't get a whole lot of that. But occasionally you'll get a couple stinkers. And but overall, the show is really funny. I didn't start watching the show until I moved back to Lincoln in 2015 because I didn't have the channel where I was currently living. But when I moved back here, I binge watched all the other seasons leading up to the newest season, which was getting ready to start. Was season 5 or season 4, one of those. But I fell in love with the show. I could not stop laughing. I've seen every episode so far. I've seen it multiple times. I'm always watching clips on YouTube. This show, these guys are freaking hilarious, and they got balls. I'm telling you, a lot of the things they do, I just don't think I could do. But I love it. Some of my favorite games include the name game, where they're receptionists at a desk, and they're calling out names for people to go into different meetings. The names they're calling out, though, are not your ordinary names. Some of my favorites. Who Fucking Tonight, and Secret Agent Randy Beans, Mother Coconuts, Thoroughly Rhonda, Smacking on My Titty Boosters the Third, and there's just so many more. Queen Skeet. Yeah, it's just a really funny game. And the reactions of not only the guys, if they laugh when they're pronouncing the name, then that's 1 point against them, basically. Whoever laughs the most loses that game. Also love the balloon game. That's early on in a few seasons. Pretty much anything they do in the supermarket, the fast food joints they go to, man. They also do a bit where they're working behind a counter and someone splashes them with water and then says something to them, and then they got to convince the customers did they deserve that or not, and they do pretty well. There's been a lot of cameos on here from other celebrities, Gary Busey, um, Danica McKellar. Um, oh, who else? There's been several wrestlers on here. Uh, God, Rosie O'Donnell's been on here. Just a whole bunch. But the punishments are freaking awesome. Joe giving the other three guys, a permanent punishment with tattoos was hilarious. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to spoil it. But I love the punishment parts, especially uh, Murr, I think, has gotten probably some of the worst ones. Uh, Murr's afraid of heights, as I am. So is the Sal. Uh, Joe, it's really hard to get Joe because he's pretty much up for anything. Uh, but if it involves his wife, that is his weak link is his wife, and I understand where he's coming from there. But my favorite game with him is they are in the mall at the food court, and they have to go around kissing strangers until they find the one that the guys pick for them to kiss. Well, Joe's turn. They pick the most beautiful girl in the cafeteria or food court, and he's gotta kiss her, and he knows who it is, and he mentions that, and then his wife is on set, and she speaks to him, and his face turns so red, and he's sweating so hard. I've never seen him like that, and that was so hysterical. And he almost did it, but at the end he didn't, and he ended up losing that game. But yeah, Joe has been punished the least so far. Although this season he's not off to a good start. But overall, he's been punished the least, followed by Q, Murr, and then Sal's been punished the most. And a lot of Sal's punishments have been fantastic. I love the zombie apocalypse punishment. But yeah, like I said, this show is funny. You have Murr, Sal, Joe, and Q, and they're just fantastic. And their friendship all this time, it's just great. That's something you rarely see anymore. That you have friends, same friends from high school into your 40s and beyond. You don't see that a lot. That's what draw me to the show. Besides what their ideas and what they were doing, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of season 7 and whatever else they decide to do in season 8. And they keep the show fresh. They're always doing different games, thinking of different ones, and they'll bring back some favorite ones on occasion and everything. Another one of my favorites is there's this two-way mirror. Actually, it's basically a one-way mirror. They'll be standing behind this mirror, and when they flick the light, the person that is on the other side of it can see them, and they try to get them to laugh, and whoever laughs the most loses. And they've done all kinds of things. I think they've done it a total of 3 times now, and they do all kinds. They do all kinds of things, and they don't hold back with the punches. They take it right to the gut. But it is a funny show, one I highly recommend. So I'm giving Impractical Jokers a 10 out of 10. So definitely check it out. Other than that, I thank you for watching, and check you later.